Hi everyone, my name is Kendall White. I'm captain of Paradigm Shift.
And I'm Carrie White, chef and first mate.
Great. So, what inspired you guys to join the yachting industry down here in the Virgin Islands?
For me, I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, learned how to sail there, and then did a dozen years in the Navy. While I was in the Navy, I was fortunate enough to be stationed in Sardinia, Italy, and I met someone who taught me how to sail yachts, 50, 60, 70 footers. Really had a lot of experience, spent 5 years in the water sailing, and that's always kind of been with me. And most recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, we've been reintroduced to sailing down here in the Caribbean. I mean, coming down, doing passages, doing deliveries, and getting back into it.
And for me, I love water, and I grew up water skiing. I grew up swimming. I wanted to get back to the water and get out of corporate America. So when I learned that you can actually have a career on water, I was all in.
Perfect. And so, can you share a memorable story from one of your charters?
Yes, most recently, it was a bunch of friends, and they, were really just having a great time. And a couple that had been married for about 30 years walk onto the bow seat. It's called the Dolphin Seat, and it's on the bow of the boat, and the sun was starting to set, and they both fit perfectly on the seat, and the sun is about to set, and they're arm in arm, and they look at each other and give each other a kiss, and I'm in the galley making dinner, and it just was this beautiful moment to be a part of, and know that people were enjoying themselves, people were slowing down, and for a brief moment, I was able to witness that and take part in it. It was beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, and for me, I think the most memorable part of any charter is that moment when people slow down. Everyone needs and everyone comes on vacation for a variety of reasons. But one of the things I look forward to is that moment when they truly unplug. And you watch it in a variety of different times, whether it's at a beach bar, whether it's while we're sailing, whether it's sitting up on the trampoline, getting splashed by waves, whatever that is. And that's the part I really enjoy, is that moment you see people really unplug.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. So, what are some of your favorite activities to do with guests on board?
I love to paddleboard and snorkel. I often lead groups on a little paddleboard tour. You'd be surprised how many people have never, tried stand-up paddleboarding, or even just been out on the water in that way. So I love introducing people to paddleboarding, even if it's just starting out on your knees. And if we want to elevate ourselves, we can do a little bit of yoga on the stand-up paddleboard.
Adventurous.
Very cool.
And then for me, when we get an anchorage in, we've decided we're going to spend some time there breaking out all the toys and setting up almost like a little town behind the boat for people just to really enjoy the water. That's really fun to help guests unplug. And the other thing is, when we find if we're in a good place and we can take people out and drop them off for a drift snorkel. When they go out for a snorkel, watching the underwater life underneath of them and drifting and not really spending a lot of energy and just really connecting with the ocean at that level, that's a lot of fun to introduce that to people.
Definitely. So, what is your favorite feature about the boat?
For me, it's sailing. This boat was meant to travel around the world. It really, really sails. I grew up sailing in the monohull world, where you really heel over and the boat really becomes part of you while you're sailing. And I wasn't expecting, when I started introducing myself and getting introduced to the catamaran world, I wasn't expecting to have that same sensation. But this boat was meant to sail around the world, and it will sail like a witch, as they say. It's a lot of fun to sail, and I really enjoy teaching people the fundamentals of sailing while we're sailing this boat as well.
I love the woodwork on the boat. I feel like you walk in, it's like you're being hugged into a living room, and you can feel at home on the water. So I love that you can have a homey feel also on a catamaran.
Definitely. So, on charter, which hidden gem or lesser known spot do you love to take guests to?
For me, there's a little spot. The Caribbean's amazing. The Caribbean, some places in the Caribbean have really been developed. Other places have been untouched. There's this little bar called Beeline on Little Yost, and it really is a shack on the beach with some picnic tables. And they make one heck of a rum punch, and it's a place I love to drop anchor at. There's a hike nearby that's on the opposite side that's easy to get to. And it's just one of those places where I love to take people there, get them a rum punch, sit at the picnic tables, watch the waves crash in. It's just a really kind of sweet, stepping back in time kind of place in the Virgin Islands.
You can't beat where we have our mooring ball. It's right in Honeymoon, and you wake up in the morning, you can jump right in the water. Oftentimes, you'll see the resident spotted eagle ray, and he'll jump out of the water and flap around. Or if you're snorkeling, sometimes he'll come along and say hi. I think it's just a beautiful part of where we live, and we're excited to show people how easy it is to just jump right into the water and see nature.
Incredible. So when you're not chartering, what do you guys like to do in the off season?
Well, we've spent a lot of time in Colorado. I love to camp, or maybe you call it glamp, because I like to eat really good food while we're camping. But I catch up with family. A lot of our family lives in California and Colorado, so we'll travel, to both places, and then I'll do a girls' camping trip every summer, which is a ton of fun.
Yeah, and for me, family is super important. Being from Maryland, I have a lot of family back there, a lot of family in Florida. So when we're in the off season, it's really about reconnecting with family. And then every year we attempt to do our best to hit one of those bucket list items to some place that we've never visited before in the world, and go check one of those out.
Definitely. All right, Carrie. So let's talk about some of your food. Can you describe one of your dishes that is a guest favorite, and who or what influences your culinary style?
Yeah. Well, I would say there's three main influences. I grew up, my parents owned a deli, and I worked the counter, and I remember, taking orders, and so food was an integral part of my life. And I grew up all along the coast of California, and we would also travel to Mexico and cross the border all the time. So a big part of my influences are, Mexican food and seafood. So I pair that really well with an awesome fish taco, and I make a tequila cream sauce that's to die for. It's definitely a guest favorite, and you'll want to have more than 2 tacos for sure.
I bet. Sounds awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks everyone so much for watching. We cannot wait to welcome you aboard Paradigm Shift and help make your vacation everything you hope it to be.
Thanks for watching.